What did you do?
I don't know. Hi, everyone. We're live streaming. I've been troubleshooting, trying to get Judy here on Skype. She's got secondary chronic progressive, and I'm going to interview her. I know that I I'm just at a loss. I'm doing my best there, but I think you tune in because I'm one of you. I'm a red hot mess there. If you want something professional, go to anybody else's channel. If you want to talk to yourself, talk to another person struggling with the symptoms of MS and the difficulties of overcoming cognitive problems. And I was telling Judy, I don't think I'm smart enough to figure out how to stream her in through Skype into this live streaming thing. But anyway, I'm going to turn this camera because I don't know if she's here or if she's in this. But let me see. You see, there she is, pretty girl. So
I can't hardly hear you. That's the problem when you turn the camera around. But I'd rather look at you than not be able to hear you.
Okay. Well, let me see. Okay. All right. They're not going to like that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
All right. Judy has, so I want to interview Judy, and I'd like for you guys to ask questions on the right side in that chat there, because I think that my experience is similar to hers and will be similar to yours there. So on Monday or on Tuesday, I did a report on how to grow myelin. There, it was an hour show. Today, I'd like to make Thursdays more interactive, where you ask questions of specific things that you're dealing with, symptoms and stuff, and Judy and I will field the questions. But right now, Judy, can you describe what is your biggest issue or symptom with MS that you deal with having it this long, and how do you manage that symptom?
It's my two major symptoms that bother me that impact my life mostly are my mobility issues and my urinary incontinence. Mobility issues, I have left foot drop, I have a hard time ambulating. I ambulate with a rollator and do okay with that. I'm just slow. I'm still able to drive because my right foot is much less involved than my left foot, my left leg. So how I deal with it is I just basically, I'm grateful for what I can do and try not to think about what I can't do. I did get a fever. I really do miss being out in nature and taking walks in the woods. So a scooter will help me go through some paths that are obviously made for people that need a little extra stability rather than walking and stepping on rocks and over logs and things like that. Anyway, so the best way I deal with it is to try to keep exercising. Keep stretching is a big thing for me. I'm starting more and more to have issues with spasticity. Stretching is very helpful. And just getting up and moving around as much as possible, which is easy to not do when you live alone, particularly in the pandemic. Anyhow, and urinary incontinence, I don't know that I deal with it very well. I think I've done everything I can do. I removed caffeine. I try to drink a lot during the day when I have access to a bathroom. but I have to use, incontinence pads, and I've been checked out by a urologist. I've gone through all of the studies. Everything seems to be normal. I'm not really retaining. I also have had more recent UTIs in the past 2 years than I've had before. I've been diagnosed for 16 years now. So, but again, with that, it's like, okay, well, there are things to do. I haven't tried self-capping yet. I'm trying to avoid that. But that's pretty much how I can answer that question for you, Dulci.
You said you've increased urinary tract infections. You have an increased incidence. Have you tried supplementing cranberry supplements? Because I say that because I used to have UTIs often, and I started taking, which I got on. What is it? I got a supplement where it's 42,000 milligrams of cranberry juice, and I take that twice a day. And since I've been doing that for about 5 years, I can honestly say I have not had one. And I'm wondering, have you tried cranberry supplements? And if so, have they worked for you?
I'm glad you put this question up because I do take cranberry supplement only once a day, and I can't tell you the units. I don't know what the strength of it is, but I will check. You said 42,000 units twice a day?
Yes.
Okay. I'll have to check that. Yes, I have been taking that.
And you're still having that. You're still having the
Yeah.
The they say it could be associated with you know what, I don't know. I think about how often I change my underwear or that kind of thing. What causes, what I do know is that stagnant urine in the bladder can lead to can turn bacteria ridden. So I'm just thinking, some of the things that I've learned over the years is to drain your bladder completely so you don't have old urine in there. You got to drink lots and lots of water. Do you have any urine you think stuck in your bladder, or do you think that's the root of the problem?
Well, that's what I was thinking, but I went and had all those urodynamics done, where they make you urinate in a toilet that has a bucket on it so that they can capture everything, and then they do like a sonogram and check your urine and see if there's any residual. They also they put a catheter in and instill fluid and measure what your bladder capacity is before you really have to go. All those tests came back normal, which I was really surprised. The one thing that I do think could be the problem, because I thought of everything, I think I'm a retired nurse, so I'm familiar with things that, like bladder infections. And I think one of the problems is because I have to wear pads all the time, because sometimes I'll get the urge to go, and it'll be the very slightest urge, but as soon as I stand up, it's just all over. I can't help it. So I think because I wear pads all the time, and I always change them as soon as they're a little bit damp. But there is a plastic in those pads, some type of barrier to keep it from leaking through to your underwear. And I think that when I was younger, I always thought it was healthy to wear cotton underwear for this reason, that you'd have some type of air circulation. So basically what I do in the morning, when I get up, I go and I empty my bladder and I clean up, and then I go back and I lay in bed with no pants on, I think I live by myself, right? But I just try to air this stuff out. And I also have a back deck that I exercise on when the weather's right, and I can do that. But I'm thinking that when it gets a little bit warmer, and I'm just wearing little house dresses around, I just go out there with and just take my there's woods all around. So I will just kind of air it to the sunshine, and maybe that'll help a little bit because as far as the cleanliness, forcing fluids, now I do when I go out, I will withhold fluids a little bit, but not on a regular basis, especially now. And I had a recent UTI 2-3 weeks ago. So anyway, your point of the cranberry supplement is a very good one, and I will check I don't know the dosage of what I take, so I will check that and maybe increase that more could be helpful.
One of the things that you brought to mind, which I know that there's a lot of truth in, is how in this society we are taught to always wear underwear and doing that. But there's some research that says that it's best at the end of the day when you go to bed not to wear underwear. Yeah, for women, if you can wear a nightgown and no underwear, it's better. So at least that 12 hours a day, even at night, if you can put on a bathrobe that's open there, and 12 hours a day, air yourself out. Let the air get to your body. The other thing
Yes.
that you mentioned is pads, panty liners, which I use there for incontinence. There, Tenna has a well, their stuff has beads, micro beads in it that expand when it gets wet and it wicks away from the body. And I love them so much. I have the panty liners, and now I've got the light pads. And the light pads can actually handle about a cup of urine there. Of course, I'm trying to drink 2 glasses in the morning and stuff to really super hydrate myself. However, I discovered that when I go for a walk, because I was doing yesterday, I was doing lunges, walking lunges, really working, trying to get some power into my legs because they've been getting weak, and I've been getting fat. Just what do I do? I stay home and I live from meal to meal, and I'm not exercising or swimming as much. So I've gained 7 pounds, which is a lot on my little body. Well,
That's a lot, yeah, for you.
yeah, it is there, and I get scared because I've got the obesity gene in my family, and I for some reason I don't see myself in a healthy light. But one of the things I did was walking lunges, and that allowed me with my hip flexor assisted device, which Judy, I'd love to see you get. I think that might help. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You got to use mine. Try mine. But I walked around the block, and it's a mile walk, and slow and sure I can do that. But at the end, halfway, uh, if I don't sniff on some desmopressin and shut off my urine for a couple hours there, halfway, like clockwork, I'm peeing in public. I just, I have got to pee. Thank God it's a little wooded at the end of my street. But even if people were driving and they caught me, I've discovered that I'd rather my neighbors see me go to the bathroom in the woods than me pee on my clothes or soak
Right.
my pad. But my I don't. Life has stripped me of enough dignity that I have made choices there, and it's funny now. And what I'm saying about that is, have you ever tried desmopressin when you need to go for 1 hour without going to the bathroom in your pants?
I have not, and you told me about that before, and I'm writing it down right now because I need to ask my doctor about a script for that and try that. That would be wonderful when the time does come that I can go out again. That I wouldn't have to really restrict my food because I know how unhealthy that is to do. It just makes life easier when you don't have to pee every hour when you're out.
Yeah, and
So, okay, I wrote. Thank you.
And it always seems to be every hour. It's an emergency, yeah, where you're running for the bathroom, and it's just terrible. It's terrible. I often tell people, and I've cut in line. I've gone into rooms where there's been long women's lines, and I said, I gotta go. And I go in, and when I go, I come out. I'm so relieved. I have to tell everybody that it is almost worth the emergency to make it to the bathroom, because you don't know what grateful is until you experience having MS and making the bathroom. It's terrible.
Yep.
Uh, it's terrible.
It's one of the very cheap, just everyday blessings, and it just feels so good to have relieved yourself. It's a wonderful thing. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's easier in the summer for women, wearing little dresses, or wearing dresses without underwear, and you go for a walk around the block and you have to go to the bathroom. You can just stand there and go, and look casual there,
Yeah.
and I tell you the story where we have the gym pool, and the bathroom is so far away from the pool on top, and I try to make the bathroom. Well, there's a shower, outdoor shower next to the jacuzzi, and I made it to the shower. I turned on the shower and I stood there, and I'm just going potty. And what was funny is everybody in the jacuzzi's looking at me, and I know they're all looking at me like they're wondering. I wonder if she's going potty. And I'm looking at them and I'm smiling, and just because they think I'm going doesn't mean that they're wrong. I'm smiling, sure, I'm going. Yeah, it does. Now, you talked about urinary incontinence pads. They come in men and women. There's different quantities. And I had a friend, and the reason why I'm saying this is I have a male friend. He just turned 70, and he had prostate surgery because he had prostate cancer. After the surgery, he did some pelvic exercises. It's a specialist that I invite everybody to Google on YouTube. Pelvic floor specialist, and the exercises they give you for dealing with incontinence. But my point is that he had they were like full diapers that he could wear around and completely void himself and not have a problem. And it wasn't like so devastating. He wears really baggy jeans anyway. So my question, like, is that how do you determine how heavy the pad you're going to choose, whether you're going to wear a full diaper or you're going to wear just a mini pad or a heavy pad?
Well, just by trial and error, that's how I did it. The only thing about the full diaper is when it's oiled, you take it off because they're full. You can take it off and rip it up. You don't even have to take your pants off all the way, but you can rip it up the sides. And then, but the problem is, I wear an AFO brace on my left ankle, and once I have and I usually, of course, it's winter time, or it was winter time. It still feels like it a little. once I get dressed and put my pants on and my AFO and my shoe, I also wear a little, this is just my own self-doctoring, but I have a hammer toe on my left foot, and it's getting more and more claw-like, as my spasticity gets worse. The point is, to take my pants off and put on another pull-off is a lot of work. So I usually just wear pads, and once in a while I go through the pad. And it's I find that, and I've used Tena, they're very nice, but recently, because I'm not doing my own shopping and everything's not always available, what I would like is not there, and I can't go to the store and look for it. So, my daughters are doing my shopping, and they get me what they can. So what I found, they got me the Walmart brand last month. They were, I weigh like 125 pounds, so they're like really long. They were the long. They have long ones, and you can choose if they're ordering them or looking at them in the store. You can choose whether you want light, medium, or they have all these different choices, and the lengths also. But the long ones, oh my goodness, I felt like it was such a waste because I kind of go in the middle, so like there's all this. So I even cut them in half, and was wearing half of one for a while. But it's just kind of like trial and error. Whatever you buy, you may not get what you need at first, but you try to choose what you think will be best.
You're funny because I saw those long ones by Tena and I almost got them, but then I thought, it's called Rise, where the Rise is a measurement from your belly button, I guess, the middle of your back, that area, and I've got a very short rise there, and I'm thinking that if I got the long ones, there's a chance that it would go from my belly button to my thoracic region,
Yeah.
my waistline, from waist to waist underneath. But that's funny, Judy. These long ones, you tried them. Well, now I don't have to.
I've always been very environmentally aware, and I try not to put anything in a landfill that I don't have to. And this problem really bothers me, how much trash I'm putting in and I've looked into inserts that you can put in your underwear that you can launder yourself. Now, I have not found any yet that I'm willing to even buy, because I don't know that they would catch the amount of urine that I would need them to, but that's something I really want to look into, because that's why I cut them in half. It's the financial thing too, but mostly it's like, I'm just putting so much trash in there because I pee my pants. It really does bother me, that part of it.
Yeah, that is it. It does, but it's wonderful to know that if we have MS, in fact, I gotta tell you, with relapsing, when I had relapsing remitting, which I still have, along with secondary chronic progressive, I'm thinking, I had MS for maybe 8 years before I started having incontinence problems. And the first time I was talking to a girlfriend, I think how ashamed I was back then, standing there talking to her, and I was wearing jeans, and I peed my jeans, into the grass. The emergencies were they would panic me so much, and now I think both age and experience has taught me that it's not that important. We have to look at our bodies almost like having pets or babies, taking care of babies. Just because our body is voiding doesn't reflect on our character or our desire. So I think we need to be kinder to ourselves and realize, choose the right pads or that there. And there's a question right here. It's Chris Eisenbraun. He says he's had primary progressive for 10 years, and he just kind of like Cheryl. He can't overcome his fatigue, can't do it. So and he's asking us if we have any suggestions to overcome the fatigue, the just the endless fatigue we get with MS. Did you find anything that has worked for fatigue, or give us some ideas of some solutions you've come across?
Well, fortunately for me, oh, I'm sorry, is Chris talking?
I'm sorry?
Is Chris going to answer or am I?
Oh no, Chris is typing that. There's a live chat.
Okay.
In fact,
Okay, that's what I thought, but I thought maybe I misunderstood.
Judy, what would be fun for you to do, because you're on your computer, instead of having that Skype window open, open up a browser and go to YouTube, and you can link on and see exactly what we're doing. You can see this live stream.
Okay, now you're going to ask me to do something I'm going to have trouble with. Well, I hope I don't lose you.
No.
I go to YouTube, right?
Yep. So anyway, what I will continue, although you're sideways right now.
Yeah, and I can't type anymore.
Meanwhile, I'll just turn it, and you guys can look at me a little bit there.
Okay. So do you want me to answer the question now?
Absolutely. There.
Okay. I have been fortunate. I don't have fatigue like some people do. I have a good friend and also a male, and he has, if you saw him walking around, you'd have no idea he had MS. But he has fatigue so bad that sometimes, I mean, he and I tease each other. We'd like to trade our symptoms off every now and then. I said, I'd be glad to lay around and sleep for a couple of days for you if you just walk around for me. But anyway, I've been fortunate. I do have some fatigue, and my neurologist told me to take vitamin B12. And I take that twice a day, and that has helped me significantly. 1 cup of coffee helps me significantly because I used to love coffee, but now the caffeine really messes with my incontinence. So I'm not the best person for him to ask. I do know there are medications for this. And right now, off the top of my head, I can't think of them, but you probably know, Dulci. One of them starts with a T, but anyway, I'm so sorry for you, Chris, because I know that my friend Jim, it really it affects him tremendously, and it has to be awful, you know, day in and day out, feeling that way. I can't.
Well, it's true with fatigue. In fact, he asked whether narcotics. Because he says his neurologist won't give him narcotics, and I know that there is. Well, I have that Ritalin. There is Provigil, Nuvigil, Amantadine. These are all medications specifically for fatigue. The only side effect is that when you take these drugs, they give, it's like a spike. It's like relapsing remitting. There is a spike of energy, and then it drops off. And you're even more sleepy afterwards. What I've recommended is people can take half. Other people I know manage it with green tea, with as Judy says, high amounts of caffeine, or just trying that. A lot of times, though, with MS, if you do high amounts of caffeine, it won't alleviate your fatigue, but it'll make you feel a little jittery. So it's very much, as Judy said, trial and error. What works, what doesn't work. Right now, because we're all isolated, I find that a double chocolate cake.
Wow.
No, anything to get, I need to stop getting. One of these days, I'm going to stop eating like I'm a huge person, but not yet. There, not yet. But anyway, what I wanted to say is that fatigue is something we manage with MS, and again, it's recommended we get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep at night, and take a 1 hour lay down anytime, 1 hour in the afternoon. So when you feel that deadening fatigue, if you can just close your eyes for an hour, even if you don't sleep there, it's restorative there. You have to give your body that extra 1 hour at sometimes. It's good with regenerating muscles and tissue, and most importantly, our brains and myelin there. So I did the 1 hour series on what to take to generate myelin. But let's see here. Okay, let me see here. Other questions there. Boy, we've got a lot of people from all over Idaho, somebody from Kansas there. Oh, it's Lisa. All right. Let me see. We talked about uh, um, incontinence pads, and we've talked about energy there. Is there another question that people have that is pressing that Judy can field with me? Uh, um, just a second. I'm just saying hi to Lisa there. All right, let me see. Let me get you in on this again. Can you see? Can you hear me, Judy?
I can, thank you.
All right, let me see if I can get Judy's pretty face in here. Oh, there you are, Judy. You know, if sometime I'm supposed to be able to get both of our faces in here next to each other, and I'm gonna. If anybody knows that, I'll figure it out. Anyway, Linda Davis she wants us to talk about managing thermoregulatory difficulties or temperature changes in the winter, being that we get unreasonably cold and we can't seem to keep our bodies at that temperature, that stasis temperature. And in the summer, how hot we get, and we can't seem to cool ourselves down. It is dangerous on either side, either directions, and it's often a question that I see in our support groups on Facebook. There, it's how do you stay cool? How do you stay? Some people like it hot, some people like it cool. I prefer warm because it's easier to jump in a pool or turn on a hose and pour water over your head than it is for me to warm up. Warming my core is so hard. Do you have anything to say about that, Judy?
Yeah, again, it's a personal thing that, I keep hearing an echo now, Dulci. so I can't think when I hear myself talk one second here.
All right. All right. I'm going to. All right. I know I'm going to get some thumbs down on this because I got thumbs down on my last one. But you know what? If you want something professional without moving, if you need something professional, again, I'm not the person to deal with there. We've got our two people here with a total of what, 60 years, I think, together combined there, and we're just answering questions. So when it comes to what was that question? No, when it
dynamic and how we stay warm or cool. Myself, I was always cold as a younger person, always cold. And that's why I loved the sun, and I was always in the sun. Anyway, now I'm older, I tend to be warmer. And staying warm for my body, everything but my feet and my lower legs, everything is always warm enough now. My feet and lower legs are always cold, even in the summer. And circulation is poor down there, and so I wear wool socks almost year round. No more flip flops for me. I can't walk in them. I have to wear like sneakers, but I worry about them, and I take extra good care of my feet. Like a diabetic's foot, they don't have a good circulation, and make sure that I always have something covering my when I'm walking around so I don't injure, because if I did, it would be hard to heal up. So I also use, I sleep with socks all year round. I use extra things like an electric blanket or an electric throw. And there's hot hands pads. They're to be for your hands in your mittens or your feet. You can get some that cover the whole sole. You stick them, you put your sock on it, and you stick over your sock, and then put your shoe on there. You can't really feel any difference. They are wonderful. So if you're out somewhere, your feet can stay warm. As far as staying, they have different items that you can buy. I'll let Dulci talk about the staying cool part, because she's better at that, because that's what she does. Usually, I just avoid the sun, and if it's just too hot and humid, I'll if I do go out, I'll wear a hat to keep the sun off my head. I'll have one of the scarves that you can put in your freezer, put them in your freezer or your fridge, or even if you're outside, just wet them in the sink in the bathroom and put them around your neck. They help a whole lot. I don't have any other cooling. I do have a cooling towel that Dulci gave me one time, but I've used that before. That's very nice. You get it wet, and then you just put it around you, or just even a little water to go in the bathroom, and a little water. I hope I didn't just lose you guys, because since I switched over to screen. Anyway, just going in the bathroom and putting water on your face, your neck, or run cold water over your wrists. That helps a lot, since you've got arteries right there close to the surface. And don't wear polyester. That's for sure. That makes you too hot. So anyway, go ahead, Dulci.
The towel, it's the old fashioned what are they called? Chamois. Chamois, they come. It's like a polyester towel, almost rubber like, and I have found in the summer that it works better than the cooling vest. In fact, if you go to the MS Association of America, they have a cooling program, and they'll send you. I did a video on they'll send you like a cooling hat, a cooling neck thing, and wrist things. And they're basically the little water bottles that you put in your refrigerator, and you get cool, and you put it on your head. I've tried that. The problem I have with them is that when they get warm, it's like you're wearing a wool hat. It's too warm there. Whereas that towel I gave you and the towel that I have that I keep, you can get them at Home Depot. They're cooling towels. And if you get them cold and you roll them up and you put them in the refrigerator there, and then you put it around your neck when it's really hot out. It's absolutely amazing how cool that is. How and I'm with you at this point now, with the legs from my knees down. My feet and legs get so cold that I have a foot plate that I by the couch that whenever I sit down I put on there, and it's heated there, so it'll warm up my feet there. Yet even when I go to bed and my feet are warm there, all of a sudden I'll feel my legs, and my legs will be so cold and you can't go to sleep. So, and as far as getting in the bathtub, and once you get down, I need a lifeguard to pick me back up as far as warming up my legs. So I have that same problem. I've discovered that if I wear really heavy flannel pants and then I tighten them, or how about cuddle duds and I sit under a electric throw, that helps. I found that the circulation is a problem for me so much, just like you, that when I lay on my side in bed, I have to, under my ankles there, I have to have a like a Wonder space age, what do you call it, memory foam pillow. So otherwise, if my ankle bone lays on the bed, that it's medium firm for your spine there, I'll get a sore on my ankle, and that sore won't heal. So I have to sleep with something underneath of it so I don't get pressure sores there. But it's interesting you said that with thermogenic, dealing with that, cold in the winter, hot in the summer, and then as you said, sometimes you're hot in the summer, but from your knees down because of the lack of circulation, you're cold. And they say it has to do with, how spasticity, you take baclofen because your muscles are spastic. Well, it's the same exact phenomenon with the veins in your legs. They get spastic. So you get pooling of blood because the veins are going up and down, right? And they say that compression hose is supposed to get it back up, but if you've had MS and you have circulation problems, you know that if you put on compression hose, that's the quickest way to prevent blood from ever going in your feet. It makes your feet so much colder. I know when I put on socks, I will chill the socks. So a lot of times I have to take the socks off, warm my feet with a heating pad, and that's why this is so good, Judy, that I talked to you and I asked you to chime in on what works for you. I wish Lisa, we've got Linda and Lisa and John and Rich, we got a lot of people watching, but I wish they could jump in and give their information too, because we all, these brilliant ideas are only brilliant because of trial and error. What works for me and what works for you. And then Lisa talks about bed sheets. Yeah, that's paraesthesia. She's talking about paraesthesia when anything that touches your skin. it really hurts. And she's specifically talking about a sheet over her body. There, when she turns, it's like sandpaper. It hurts her. And I'm paraphrasing this, Lisa, but it's that to deal with paraesthesia is to put on the cuddle duds again, and that creates a barrier between your skin and like the sheet, anything that's brushing over, so you don't feel it. Is you won't feel it there. You need a barrier. You need to put on skin. And I know what you're talking about when I wear shorts in the summer, and when I sit down, if my skin touches the chair, it's like being whacked. Yeah. What about you, Judy?
I don't really have too much to say about that. I don't have much of an issue with that at all. Maybe because I can't feel that much. I don't know. I have a lot of numbness in my lower extremities, so I don't perceive it as being something painful when it touches me. So that's a blessing for me.
Do you have any paraesthesia, any like pins, abnormal sensations on your arms or your anywhere on your body?
I get really strange things, like we all probably do. Um, I have, like, I don't know, for 3 or 4 days last week. Actually, I was cleaning up after my daughter was in the house bringing my groceries, and I had a Clorox wipe, and I was wiping the light switch and the door handle. And as I had my right hand extended, I felt like I had a bee sting on my ring finger on the inside, and I thought, ooh, I probably shouldn't have touched the light switch with something wet. But that wasn't it. I mean, it was just very quick. But then it kept coming back for, like, I don't know, 5 days. Every now and then I get like a bee sting feeling. I get stuff like that, or an intermittent buzzing, and every time, like even in like a little quarter size area on my thigh, it'll just, and it'll stop, and it'll stop. And so I get stuff like that, just weird things, but nothing that, and I guess everybody gets things like that. They go away, so I don't worry about them. I figure either nerves are trying to reconnect or they're dying. I'm not sure what it is, but anyway, that's pretty much all I have to add about that.
Well, the bee sting thing's an interesting thing because I felt that too. When you're walking along and it's like a invisible bee I think like a demon comes and lands there and stings you and then takes off there. I felt that on my back of my neck, my shoulder. Over the course of my life, I feel that there. Occasionally, I'll grimace. My husband will say, what?" And it's like not even worth explaining. It's like one of these passing pains. There's a spasm or something. It's awful, but I guess these are normal there. One of the things that a lot of doctors will offer is gabapentin, Neurontin, to take care of these things. I personally won't take it because it's the cure is worse than the immediate. A bee sting a couple times a day to me is much easier to handle than the side effects of Neurontin. What is your experience with gabapentin or any medication to control these type of things?
I have been prescribed gabapentin, and I can't take it because it makes me too sleepy. It's the same thing as baclofen for me. I cannot take that. I wish I could. I take the Xanaflex for the spasticity, but I'm supposed to take that 3 times a day. And if I do, my spasticity is a little worse. But if I just sit down and rest for a few minutes, I fall asleep. And therefore, I'm not moving as much as I need to. So it's just my body. I think everybody's has things that they like, and other people don't, and it's just they make me too sleepy, and I prefer not to be near all the time. So I stopped taking it and just deal with whatever. That's like it's not for me. You know, the benefit does not outweigh the effects that I don't use.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm thinking so much I've discovered with baclofen. My experience with baclofen early on, it made me sleepy when I took one, and I used to go to physical therapy, and I had a physical therapist tell me that he wouldn't work with me unless I defrosted, I broke that tone, the overtone that you get when you don't take baclofen. And so I took it consistently every time I saw him, and so that was one baclofen. I started taking that, and then I started taking another one at night before I went to bed, so I can, because I'm an insomniac, and I thought, well, maybe it'll make me sleepy there. Well, yeah, I ended up working my way up until my doctors were panicked because I took more than was you should uh, internally there. And I got to tell you, your body adjusts to the sleepiness. Tizidine, because of you, I talked to the neurologist, Judy, about maybe Tizidine would work better than baclofen because I was getting so tense there and I didn't feel like stretching, which is what we're supposed to do to break the tension there. So I was looking for an easy fix, medication there, and they gave me Tizidine to try there, and it made me sleepy. I was supposed to back off of baclofen, try the Tizidine, and I didn't feel like getting used to another medication that was going to make me sleepy. I already have baclofen. It works there. I backed off now to 40, 60, 80 to 40, 60, 80 milligrams a day there, which is the top, the most you're allowed, you should, the therapeutic amount, besides getting the baclofen pump, which I was taking enough to get the baclofen pump there. I was taking 16, 1,600 milligrams a day. Don't do that.
Oh,
I know. But, I wasn't sleepy, but that's how you can get adjusted to it there. Let me see. Lisa, I will answer your question right out. She asked, "Are we mostly invisible?" No, you're looking at Judy and I are not invisibles. We are visibles, right? We are people who walk with walkers, and people hold doors. Judy and I go out to lunch once a month or so. Not right now, but we're close, and to tell you that we're visibles, people know that we have something wrong with us there, and because we both have an MS Frontiers sticker on the back of our cars, they generally can look over and tell we've got multiple sclerosis. And you know what? I remember when I was a invisible, I used to wonder, at what point do you tell people you have MS? And after you've had it this long there, you realize that it's not my fault. It's not my fault I have it. It's not her fault she has it, and it's like common knowledge. It's almost like, what color is your hair? You can see I've got dark roots there, so I can't lie. but what color is your hair? It's like dishwater brown. What color is your eyes? It's Judy has beautiful blue eyes there. I've got like hazel light brown there. So what is it? Do you have MS? Absolutely. I've got, what's wrong with you? I love little kids. Why do you walk with that? and they look at me like the scooter, like they want one. It reminds me of when I was a little girl and I used to get in Grandpa's wheelchair in the basement. It was the most fun, who knew I'd have one? But anyway, you've got to use it or lose it. Yesterday, Judy, I was out in front of my house and I was doing walking lunges back and forth. And with you holding on to the walker, and I cannot believe the strength I put in those legs. That it was the best time I walked around the block. And sometimes I drag my feet, but I was able to do it, and doing the walking lunges and the side squats and all, just like we did that video a while back on lunges there. Do you find any exercises give you strength to help you battle this, make you less visible?
Yeah, well, the lunges do help, and I actually had some bars. I call them ballet bars, but they're just bars, and I put them on I had a guy install them on my deck outside, and I can hold on to them very easily, and I can do not deep knee bends, but I do knee bends down farther than I would go without holding on the bar, and hold it and come up. Anything that, and I do stretches out there too. That's what's helpful. And last year I had some modifications done to my home, and I had my laundry moved from the basement up and had a little laundry room built onto the side of my house with a garage, which is somewhat cool. Anyway, I noticed that, I still go in the basement. Of course, there's handrails on both sides. I'm very careful. And I have a walker down there, that I can walk down there with. But I've noticed that since I'm not doing my laundry 2 or 3 times a week, going up and down, that was a little more difficult to do when I go up and down the steps now, which I probably only do, maybe once a week. So it put it in my head that I'm going to try every other day. And I do notice that after I do that, after I go in the basement and come back, the next day my legs feel better. They're just, it is good exercise. But listen, I have to go because I have guys coming to cut my lawn, and they're going to be coming here. They're supposed to be for 12. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I hope that this has been helpful for people.
Well, Judy, it is, and it's we've got 3 minutes to go here. So I love you. Thank you for being part of this. And again, anytime you want to be a guest and work with answering these questions with me, it would be great. But same thing with anybody who's watching. Anytime any of you want to be a part of this, there again, just Skype and we'll do it this way. Anyway, God bless you, Judy, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.
All right, Bill. Take care. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Okay, let me see here. Judy is gone. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is probably have another person with MS on Thursdays and do a question answer series on Thursdays from 11 to 12 and from 11 to 12 on Tuesdays to go over ways to deal with it, or maybe 11 to 11:30. Specific things like I did myelin. I went over producing myelin and what supplements you can take to keep the keep the myelin as healthy, restoring as best as possible. But again, Judy and I, we're no different than any one of you who are watching there, and it's so important that there. So each one of you are experts at msfrontiers.org. website there. You'll see the resources we have for you. But it's so beautiful to be able to invite anybody who wants to do this. Email me or send me through the Facebook. Send me that you'd like to be you'd like to share your story, and I'll interview you and ask you specific questions, and you can help me field the answers. Anyway, I will talk about pain management next. How about, why don't I talk about pain management? Because today we covered urinary health, exhaustion, and paraesthesia. We talked about urinary tract infection and incontinence this time. I will go into pain on Tuesday, managing pain. And again, if anybody wants to help me field some of these things next Thursday, let me know. Anyway, God bless you. Please subscribe to this channel. Keep coming back, and have a nice day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.